I lived in Canggu, Bali for the last 5 weeks and also in 2021 for 4 months. And today I will show you, is it too busy now? Is it too much construction, traffic? How bad is it really with the tourists? And also, is it still the best place for digital nomads to live on whole planet Earth? And why are people going crazy about this place? This is the map of Bali and you've already probably seen it, but I want to show you where Canggu is because most of the people say they live in Canggu, but they actually don't live in Canggu and they don't even know where Canggu exactly is. So let's start with the airport. That's kind of the central of all of the touristy areas. Right next to the airport and also on the right side of the island you have a lot of hotels, but that's not where we want to go. On the left side you have directly above the airport you have Kuta, which is kind of the party area for all of the Australians that come here and really want to go in pubs and so on, but that's not partying in a good way in Bali. Right above it we have Seminyak, which is already a little bit better. You already have nice villas there and it's not as partying and touristy as in Kuta, but it's still not the Canggu where we want to live in. And right above Seminyak, you have actually Canggu. So Canggu is actually divided in those parts: Umalas, Barava, Batu Bolong, Perinan, and Sese. And the more you are on the right side, the more it feels like Seminyak, very crowded. And the more you get to the left side, it is very peaceful, more nature. Especially in Sese, there are still a lot of rice fields, but for example in Umalas, you probably won't find that much rice fields anymore. So the main parts of Canggu is actually Barava, Batu Bolong and Perinan, and most of the people actually want to live in Perinan because it's still so close to the rice fields, but you still are like 5 minutes to all of Canggu. There are also a lot of people living above the main road that you can see here, so more in the inland of Bali, but that's not really Canggu anymore. If you want to say it like that, you have to at least drive 15 to 20 minutes to the beach, but a lot of villas are cheaper there, so I understand why people are moving there. So now that we both know what are we talking about when we talk about Canggu, we can get right into the video. And first of all, I want to mention why Bali exactly, because Bali has a lot of advantages of all of the other islands and countries in the rest of the world that I've traveled so far, because first of all, you have super good weather all year round. The rainy season is not as bad as in other countries in Asia, and also it depends. Sometimes you don't have really a rainy season at all. Second of all, the people, they are so heartwarming and always smiley, and for sure in all of Asia they are friendly. But in Bali, it's very different when you're here and you really notice that. I think it's maybe because of the religion that is just practiced here, but everyone talks about Bali, that the people are so friendly, always smiling, so heartwarming. So that's definitely a reason. Also, the safety is super good here in Bali, especially for me as a woman. That's super important. I can go out in the night at 3 a.m. walk around and I'm still super safe, and that's also probably because of their religion, so I really love that. And the last point is because Bali is so digital. Every business is on WhatsApp or Instagram, and you can order food per app, you can order taxis per app, and it's so convenient to live here. And now we have a look into Canggu. Should you go there? Why do people love it? Is it as bad as some people say on Instagram with the traffic construction and so on? So let's head right into it. So why does everyone love Canggu right now? Because everything is within reach that you need for living. You could drive from one end of Canggu to the other end probably within 15 minutes or even faster, depends on your driving style. And you have so much options to choose from gyms, restaurants, at-home delivery, everything that you need, basically yoga and so on. You can go to the beach, watch sunsets there, beautiful sunsets. You could go to the rice fields. You're very quickly in the inland of Bali and travel a lot of things here in Bali. So you have everything so compact that you basically need to live. And a lot of people say that Canggu is the food heaven in all of Bali and probably all of the world, because you have so many nice restaurants to choose from. Every second house is basically a restaurant, from expensive, super nice to super cheap, Thailand, Vietnamese, Indian, everything that you could imagine is here. And also so many vegan restaurants, also vegan options, vegetarian options, but also all kind of food preparations you will find here and you will be super happy with. And you can deliver almost everything at home for like 50 cents or sometimes even less than you would go out in a restaurant, because you get discounts in the delivery apps. So as you see, food is a pretty big thing here in Bali, because basically you go out for everything that you eat, because it's cheaper than actually buying something in the supermarket and cooking it yourself, because you can get local dishes for below $1 or up to $3 depending where you're going, and Western and super nice dishes for like $3 until $8, and that's already super good. But for sure you can spend as much as you want on foods. There are also super expensive restaurants, but it depends on what you want. But for $5 to $8 a meal you get a really nice meal, maybe also vegan, and yeah, just in a very nice ambiente in the restaurant. The accommodation, you actually have a lot of options to choose from here in Canggu, from hostel rooms where you share your room with other people, from hotel rooms to villas that you can rent or share on Airbnb, and so on. So there's a lot of options to choose from, also for kind of every budget. There's also still the super cheap hostel for just maybe $10 a night, but you also get really good apartments and hotel rooms, guest house rooms where you share the pools, and also super nice villas for a quite affordable budget, even though this might got a little bit higher in the last years, like the rent and stuff, but I will cover this in my future videos. But it's still super affordable to live in Canggu, super nice, the options and the prices that you get compared to the rest of the world and also the rest of Asia. So the accommodation is a really nice thing. You also have really modern villas like the one I'm sitting right now, where you can comfortably live. You have big desks, a lot of working desks, a lot of nice chill areas with pools and so on. You are still in the center of Canggu, or maybe 5 to 10 minutes away with the scooter. And also there is so much stuff to do in Canggu that you won't believe me. The list is basically endless and depends on how much money you want to spend. And there are so many options to choose from: yoga studios, gym studios, paddle, Pilates, and so on. So you don't have just one thing, but gyms in general are one of the two things in Bali that are quite expensive in my opinion compared to Western countries, but I will cover in future videos what's the cost of living in Bali and especially in Canggu. But you can be sure that you will have so nice experiences when coming here and doing all of these things. For example, massages, you can go to a cheap massage, but you can also go to a luxury massage where everything looks so fantastic. You can choose different surf spots in all of Bali, and also the gyms are super nice here in Bali. You often have a recovery area with cold plunge, sauna, a very big pool with a nice rice field view, super good equipped gyms also with AC, and so much more. And also one really nice thing is that Canggu is directly on the beach, so a lot of people go to the beach for running or walking or just tanning and going into the ocean, even though it's not the most beautiful beach, but it's just nice. Also a very nice thing here is to go to the sunset and watch it directly from the beach, because the beach is perfectly facing the sunsets. You have a lot of options to sit somewhere, order a coconut for €1 or €2 and just watch the sunset with your coconut, or maybe eat something in a rooftop bar and so on. So the options are here also endless, and it's kind of a culture in Canggu to meet for sunset and meet other people. And also the sunsets are the most beautiful in whole earth, because the sky gets so red and intense with colors, and then the water reflects all of these colors. It's really a cultural thing there to just go for the sunset. And also you have pretty nice nature around it, because for example in Sese you still have a lot of those green rice fields that everyone loves from their villa view. And if you drive like 10 more minutes, basically in really untouched nature and not much tourism, and you are not far from Ubud with its lush greenery and jungle vibe, and also not far to all of the other places in the rest of Bali, and you have a pretty good location. Working in Canggu is actually really nice, because first of all you can almost everywhere work at home, in your hotel room. Some hostels also have like working spaces, and also in your villa you probably have a desk in the kitchen where you can work really nice. And also there are a lot of cafes that just allow you to bring your laptop, open it up, as long as you order something for drinking and food, which is cheap anyways. There are also some dedicated workspaces where you can go in, work for free as long as you order something off their restaurant. Or there are also workspaces that have like a monthly membership. This makes sense if you really go there every day and you have like better equipment and quieter rooms. But in general you have also a lot of super free options as long as you order something or you just work at home. The Wi-Fi is pretty good in almost every place. Also every restaurant and cafe offers you Wi-Fi, which is super good for working, and the internet speed in general is crazy good in Bali compared to other Asian places. Also the community in Canggu is so nice, especially for digital nomads. It's so easy to meet new people in co-working spaces. You have a lot of events where you can meet people. You can also use Bamboo Friends to meet new people and just talk to everyone that you see in cafes and spots, and at the sunset everyone is just super open and it's really easy to make good connections here. You also have a lot of shopping options in Canggu for clothing, small things and so on. You have for sure the more higher priced boutique clothing stores directly in Canggu, but you also have like cheaper tourist shops and stores at the side of the road, and you're not really far from like big shopping malls in Kuta, Seminyak, and also other parts of Bali that is probably like 20 to 30 or maybe 40 minutes away, where you have all of the big brands, H&M and so on. So shopping is here really good. You can also deliver everything from the app and it's really convenient. They also have an Amazon like shop here, which is called Shopee or Tokopedia, so you can basically get everything here in Canggu. If you like the value that you're getting out of this video, please help me grow this channel. Like and subscribe to not miss out on any future videos. So now I will come to the negative sides of Canggu. Maybe you saw some people on Instagram complaining about construction, traffic, the beach, tourism and so on. So I will tell you if that is really a problem or not at all. The first thing is construction, and yes, in Canggu in general there is right now a lot of construction going on, especially in Sese and Perinan, the areas where is not as many buildings yet, but it is not everywhere and it is also not as bad as people are complaining. I would just make sure that your villa or Airbnb, hotel, whatever is not located directly next to construction. So please read the reviews, because otherwise it could get noisy and it could annoy you. And also a lot of streets and pavements are getting renewed by the government, which I think is a pretty good thing, because they make the road actually wider and it's better to walk on. So that's a good thing, and it will probably just last for another weeks and months and then it will be gone, and the government just invests a lot of money in these areas to make it better to living in the future. So right now I don't think construction is that big of a problem. If you just choose the right location to live, you won't have any problems at all. The traffic is actually really good in Canggu, and I don't really understand why people complain about it on Instagram. Most of them probably complain because they don't live in Canggu, because if you don't live in Canggu and you always have to drive 15 minutes over the main road or through the shortcut that everyone wants to use when entering Canggu, that means it's not really a Canggu problem, it's a problem where you live, because then you have to use a lot of the main roads, which can be getting pretty busy, and also the shortcut in Barava can get quite busy, especially through sunset hours or maybe in the morning. But most of the times I were using it, it wasn't busy at all, just maybe 1 or 2 times, so it wasn't that big of a problem. But when you get stuck there, you really get stuck there, and you don't want to do that. So it's better to live in Batu Belong, Perinan and Sese, and not in Umalas and Barava. But as long as you live in Canggu itself, it's not a problem, and most of the time you're just driving 3 minutes anyways with the scooter, and there's no traffic at all. The tourism, the people, is it too crowded in Canggu? In my opinion, it's not. I think it's like the perfect ratio of a lot of people to meet there and to socialize, but it's not too overcrowded. But you definitely notice that the rental prices are going higher and higher, so that's one negative side of people want to live directly in Canggu. The rental prices are going up, but in general it's not overcrowded, and you find a spot everywhere in cafes, sunset views and so on. Also gyms are quite okay depending in which gym you go, but in general it's not overcrowded. But this also doesn't mean that it's super peaceful. I mean, it's still a lot of people that want to live there, a lot of shopping options, a lot of cafes, restaurants, so it's not a very quiet area. If you want to have it more quiet, move to Sese or the upper parts above the main road. There you will have it more quiet, or just drive 10 minutes the main road into the inner parts of Bali. And also one thing, people complain that the beach is not the most beautiful in Canggu, and that is actually one thing I have to agree with you, because the beach is kind of gray. I mean, Bali has a lot of black beaches which are super beautiful because of the volcanic sand, but the beach in Canggu is just kind of gray. It's not white, it's not black, so it's something in between. But one nice part is that it's super big. You can go running on there, you can have sunset walks or morning walks, so it's really, really nice also to chill there. Some people go into the water, but it's also a very famous surfing spot. You will also find a lot of surfers there, but it's still good to go in there, but it's not the most beautiful beach in all of Bali. But for that you have other positive sides, and you can also literally drive to beautiful beaches within 1 hour and make a day trip there. So to summarize Canggu, in my opinion, all of the positive aspects outweighed by far the negative sides, which are, in my opinion, not really negative sides. Most of them have no substance at all, but still it is super nice to live here. It is my favorite place to live, especially as a digital nomad, because you have so many nice benefits, from the gym, the restaurants to choose from, especially as someone being vegan and liking to have so many options to do things. Also the beach and the rice field and all of the varieties that you get from Bali, and also all of the other benefits that you get from Bali, like the good weather, the friendly people, high safety and so on. So I really, really love Bali, and I highly recommend to come here in Canggu, live here as a digital nomad, because it's literally the most beautiful place on earth. So thank you for liking and subscribing, and we will see you in one of the next videos where I show you the most beautiful places on earth.